busted on the beat, ho. Spooky Lou and another wonderful WrestleRoni for me and for you. It's just me and you again today. Why? Well, we'll get into that too, man. We got a lot to cover. I'm glad you joined me, man. We're popping off. We're doing great as always. We grow daily, and I can't thank you enough for tuning in, all your support, your kind words. Hell, I want to thank everybody for the questions and comments you sent in for today's episode. I love y'all, man. Good shit. It's been crazy. We got a lot to discuss. A lot of things happening. A lot of things going to be happening. A lot of things done happened. We got so much ground to cover, and I don't want to keep you here all night. So let's get into things, man. What's been going on? Let's just get right to basics with the home promotion, Real Shoot Wrestling, man. Been a lot on my mind that I've been wanting to discuss, and we haven't recorded a podcast, I don't think, since Shoot Masters. Well, yeah, but anyway, we haven't really got to discuss RSW, so let's do it, man. It's been wild. Recently, just this past weekend, we're at Taylor County Fairgrounds. What a main event between Duzan and Cliff Klepto. Duzan retains the title. Ricky Dawkins. These two, man, just prickheads anymore. Just straight up prickheads. Damn fucking... I was happy as hell to see Ricky running and walking. He's doing better. He's looking good and healed. And then the dumb fucker comes out, puts his hands on me. Prick. Just a little prick, so... They're pricks. I used to like them, but they're pricks, so you'll have that. I tell you who else I used to like, and my opinions have changed recently. This might be a bit of a hot take, but it's my show, so it's my hot take. I'll hot take all I want. Let me talk about Parkersburg, man. Something that's been kind of irking me. That was a wonderful show. Great match. A great match. Let me emphasize. Love the match between Dustin Alexander and Violent Vance Desmond for the RSW title. But, alright, we all know, regardless of what Vance is doing nowadays or has done, I've always been partial to the dude. The guy had maybe my favorite match I've ever seen live back in the day. And like I say, man, that's the fan in me. I can't help it. So, to get to my point, in that match, a lot happened. After the match, a lot happened. As a father of 3 little girls, I just can't nobody else is saying anything. How are you going to turn somebody's kid against them? Yeah, I said it. Why is nobody else saying it? Hell, Nikki's bad enough. That's somebody he looked at. He said at Fairmont State, he looked at her as a daughter. It's bad enough her DDTing him, and then they talk his little girl into stomping him? Who's the good guy and who's the bad guy? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I the only one that sees this? It's ludicrous. That is his child. That's come out numerous times. I saw the fear in her eyes when y'all fought at Fairmont State. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it, man. Like, I think there should be repercussions for this. I really do. Anyway, this weekend, RSW unauthorized. One more time, Violent Vance Desmond, Dustin Alexander, RSW championship match. It's a banger. You know it. And then while we're talking about RSW unauthorized, let me toot my own horn for a second on that one, because I had a little bit of a point to prove, man. Some people forgot just who the fuck Spooky Lou is. And the show wrapped up a little earlier than I'm used to on Saturday. Didn't have a bunch of miles to come home on the road, about a 45-minute drive home. I said, let's show these motherfuckers how Spooky Lou does things. Within 24 hours of that show happening, I had an episode, 4 matches edited, of RSW Unauthorized. Who's doing it like Spooky Lou? That's what I wanted to ask you. You can check out the bootleg sites if you want to. If you want to get your RSW or your West Virginia wrestling from somewhere else, that's on you, man. But I know I'm working my ass off. I'm losing hours sleeps, and that's fine. That's fine, because I believe in what the guys are doing. I believe in the product, and I can't thank y'all enough for tuning in. Y'all seem to be eating it up. So, yeah, new RSW Unauthorized to look forward to this weekend. Yeah, That's how we do. So, and that's another point, man. We might be slowing down on the single matches. It's time to kind of tighten the reins a little bit. That's another thing that's been kind of going around social media. Folks tightening some reins. So maybe I need to tighten the reins on the channel. While we're talking about that, yeah. So instead of individual matches, why don't we just go ahead and keep doing shows like RSW Unauthorized, Saturday Night Shoot Masters, things of that nature to get these matches out there. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about that? Can you wait a couple days if I give you a whole show? Is that because I do like to get the matches out right after they happen, while they're hot, while it's, because I've been the fan. I've been the fan waiting on the match to come out. It comes out the next day. That's awesome. So I can't always do that, but when I can, we'll do it. Yeah, talking about tightening up the reins, man. Let me take you back to one of the most recent WrestleRonis. I gotta give it up to Matthew Yeager, man. Let me be completely transparent on this, dude. The dude made me tighten things up, and I gotta give it to him. I gotta thank him for that, because sometimes old Spooky Lou be taking some shortcuts, might even forget, might screw up, and this dude just at every corner, nah, we ain't screwing up, Lou. And he didn't even mean to. He was just doing the right thing, and I was like, shit, come on, Lou, get it together. First off, I'll be straight up, I completely forgot. So thank God he messaged me and reminded me so we could even record it. After that, we're talking about, before we hit record, talking about language and things like that. He made sure to let me know that he does have a lot of younger fans, so he's going to watch his language. Okay, well, I'll follow your lead. If there's going to be kids watching this episode, I'll watch my language. So kudos to you for that as well. The podcast goes out. The thumbnail's terrible. That's my weak spot of anything, them thumbnails. I'll just put somebody's goofy face on there. It ain't my face, right? You don't even see my face, pussy-ass Lou. But he hit me up. He said, man, you need a picture for the thumbnail. I said, thank you. So, Matthew Yeager, I thank you for whipping me into shape and telling me, get it together, Lou. I'm going to try harder on that. I appreciate that, man. But, dude, I'm a busy dude. June is going to be busy for RSW. You know what's going to happen June 8th. We've been talking about this, and I am so excited. Things have been going my way, and are they going to go my way at June 8th at Skittermo's, Morgantown, RSW, up on the mountain, baby. We booked it. If you haven't been paying attention to the podcast, man, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're about to know. Tim Cross says, Spooky Lou, book a match. I said, I'll book a match. I'll get you two hot up-and-coming talent. Selfishly, I had to book Lane Cali. I had to get him in my neck of the woods where I got a little bit more control over things. I said, who can humble this kid? Who can mess him up for me? I thought 880 champion, Reese Hayes, been on a roll. Kid is so good. I cannot wait for Skitter Mose and what Reese Hayes is going to do to you. And when I get to record that pinfall, or record that tap out, record you screaming, record your blood, your tears, I can't wait. Truly, truly cannot wait for that. If you are in the area, get up for that one, man. Get up on the mountain. If you got to walk up that mountain, I promise you it'll be worth it. Man, last year, Skitter Mose, you want me to get real? You want to talk some real shit on this podcast? Let's talk real shit, man. Last year, Skitter Mose, I went to Skitter Mose. I didn't even know if I had a job. I knew I was walking into a place where some folks weren't very happy with Spooky Lou. And to be honest, I wasn't happy with some folks there. But you know what? I showed up. They said, Lou, you filming? I said, of course I am. I filmed. We got through it, and here we are today. That's about as deep as I'll go into that, but it'll be a whole different scene this year. I know what I'm walking into. Things seem a little bit more secure. That's another thing, man. They say the business, it changes, it evolves. You have to keep up. You have to evolve with the times. And some of these fan questions that I got coming up, when I was thinking on them, it got me to thinking, man, things have changed. When I came in a couple years ago, it's a whole different RSW. I have a whole different set of people that I hang out with. I went through friends, lost friends, made enemies. I tell you, bro, I pissed off a lot of folks without even trying. And the hell with all that, man. Like, I'm done with that shit. If I piss you off, I meant to, okay? Like, I'll say it right now. pro wrestling, there ain't no bigger bunch of sensitive motherfuckers than in pro wrestling. Everybody's on edge, just wanting a reason to be upset. I'll upset you. That's what I'm here for. Let's upset the world. As long as it makes some shit happen and entertains folks, why the fuck not? I'll be the one. I'll be the scapegoat, by God. But let's go into these fan questions. What got me thinking this way? What got me on this train of thought today? Let's bring them up, answer them one by one. Maybe you understand Spooky Lou a little bit better. Maybe I'll understand myself a little bit better. Self-discovery today. What was the question that really got me thinking here? Let's go. What was your favorite interview from Colton Canterbury? That's a tough one, bro. But I'll tell you one that immediately came to mind. Now, we're going to go through some more and kind of try to narrow it down by the end of the show. But one that really came to mind right out the gate was Phil Picasso. That guy don't give a shit who he pisses off. He's going to be Phil Picasso. And I remember just sitting here looking at my computer monitor with my jaw just wide open like, wow, this dude does not give a fuck. Phil, Birdman, I'm going to be a little bit more like you, man. Like, I'll be the first to say you've earned the right to not give a fuck being in the business since 2001 or 1999. You've definitely earned the right, but honestly, it's probably just easier not to give a fuck. You wouldn't believe the people I have on this podcast and how I can tell they're watching what they're saying because, like I said, everybody is so sensitive. Everybody wants a reason to be pissed off. Recently, I pissed off people just by forgetting little things here and there. I ain't trying to make nobody mad. But my goodness, people get in their feelings. I promise you. So for right now, at this point in the episode, I'm going to say my favorite interview was Phil Picasso because he gives no shits. But we're going to go through some stuff, and if I think of a better one, I'll be happy to let you know. Jace Kincaid comes to mind. You got the young guys like Evan Golden, Tyler Jacks hit me up wanting an interview. Stuff like that where you can tell these guys are just wanting a little bit more and they're willing to do what they got to do to get it. That's the kind of shit I like, man. So, yeah, it's guys like that. Let's go into some more questions here, and let's go a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole. Some of my favorite indie wrestlers, Aaron Jackson. So, right out the gate, let's exclude RSW, PWL, all the local guys, Pittsburgh guys, the guys that I know pretty well. Some guys that I've been watching, I'll watch a show if I know they're on the card. You got guys like Dustin Waller comes to mind. I've really been a fan of his work. Marcus Mathers. Oh, man. Leo Rush. Shoot, I thought of somebody, and I see their face, Bones, B-O-N-Z. That's a fun gimmick. I like the characters, too, man. Those are just some that come to mind. You ask me on another day, it'll be a completely different bunch of people. And honestly, man, I haven't been able to watch as many indies as I'd like because I'm so busy going to shows and editing the shows and all that stuff. Let's see what else we got. The best match, T-Bone. What's the best match I've ever recorded? See, this is when we got to bring up the channel and start going through things. Because I'd like to give you a decisive answer, so I'm bringing up my YouTube. Let's see what we got here. I'll just start going through the oldest ones. We'll kind of go through here and see what we see, and I'll tell you what I know about them, all that good stuff. How about that? I'll tell you a couple that spring to mind right out the gate. I'm not going to say they're my favorites, but they're in the running. One of the first matches I ever filmed, the first match I ever did film officially for RSW, was a tag team match between Billy Knox and Brother Phineas against Saturday Night Special for the tag team championships. And I got to film my best friend winning the tag team championships. I teared up. Crowd went nuts. That was a great time. Another one that comes to mind, man, scared for my life. Otis Kogar and Jason Gorey killing each other with bulbs and razor blades and all kinds of craziness. One of my favorites just because I lived through it, had blood all over me, didn't know if it was mine, Gorey's, Otis's, the crowd members. That was fun. I gotta admit, that was fun. Another one that comes to mind, man, PWL. First time I was up No, second time. Second, third, whatever. It's on the main event of the first Shoot Masters. Benny Conley, Cyclops. Cyclops winning the PWL Championship. And just that crowd, the atmosphere. That's something else. Highly encourage you to watch that if you haven't. Now I'm scrolling through the channel. Let's see what else has happened through the years. Cause yeah, man, we're coming up on July 3rd, coming soon, man. That's when all this shit, when the first WrestleRoni, me joining up with RSW, we got to reminisce a little bit here today, cause it's been a wild ride. I promise you that, to say the least. And while we're going through the list here, another question I think is relevant while I'm scrolling through the list. Where was it? Without naming names. Have you been excited to interview someone, and then when it finally happens, you're like, that was a letdown? Yeah, I promise you that's happened. There's interviews that, thank you, Grace. Thank you for your awesome question, the awesome footage you sent in. That's happened plenty. There's interviews that haven't even been published. They're so bad. There's interviews that I've put up and taken down. There's interviews that you have to track the link down if you want to watch them. So, yeah. Let's scroll through the channel. We've got those questions in mind. What's a favorite match that I've recorded? What's one of my favorite guests? What's a letdown? So, I'm scrolling through the channel now. Let's see what comes to mind. And I tell you what, man, while I'm looking at this, I tell you, I used to be everywhere. I used to work a lot of promotions. And they ain't calling old Spooky Lou back for some reason. Yo, what I do, reach out, hit me up, huh? What? And if not, that's fine too. But I have noticed that I ain't getting called back, you fucks. Y'all can kiss my ass. All right, I'm going through here. Let's reminisce. Let's go down memory lane. Let's look for my favorite match, my favorite podcast guest. Disappointing times. This should be fun. All right, right now I'm starting at the first RSW show I went to. And you can go through the channel while we're doing it, man. Just start with the oldest videos and start at Frat Daddy's Leap of Faith. And that's when Frat Daddy took on Remy and jumped off the U-Haul truck. That was my first RSW show. I got accused of being a spy. That's what the first podcast is about. Check that out. But I had a good time. That's the thing, man. It was Jake Ely and Tommy Irish. I gotta say that's one of my favorite matches just because it got me. It got me in the door, man. Hook, line, and sinker. I fell in love with these two. Yeah, I'm in love with y'all. Love. I stalk you. I'm in love with you. I said it. Okay, Fruity Lou, whatever. It was their characters, man. The match was fun. They had me laughing. And Tommy Irish and Rucker just had a crazy good match this past weekend. So yeah, man, that was the match that hooked me. So I got to put that down as one of my favorites because who knows if I'd be talking to you today without me enjoying that match so much that I put my nose right up Tim Cross's ass and I said, I want to be a part of this. What else we got? I'm looking through Billy Knox and Zach Myers in a dog collar match. That was a fun one, but you know what? I didn't film it. I filmed it from ringside. So we got to get to the stuff I'm filming. I'm looking at podcasts. One of the very first people to jump on the podcast was Dustin Alexander and Nikki, and that was a fun one. I remember that one really meaning a lot to me, that he wanted to be on the podcast and stuff. I remember that being really important to me, so that was cool. Going through the channel, disappointing guests, nothing so far. We're in the early days. Benny Conley was on the podcast, episode 20. That was a fun one. Shoot, episode 8, we was talking to Kuma from Argentina. We was going worldwide clear back then. Ooh, but I didn't film it. Let's get to the stuff I filmed because that's a good match. Let's see here. All right. So I guess the first show that I officially filmed was A Stranger in a Strange Land up in MV, the Pittsburgh Pricks neck of the woods. And I gotta tell you, that opening match has to be a contender, man. That four-way was a fun one. Then you had Zach Myers and Honey Badger, and we know how that all turned out. Thank God they're both gone. Cowpoke Paul and Polly Kilpis is a really fun comedy match, but we're not talking about every single match here. Zeke Mercer and Jackson Argos was a really good one, though. And I'll tell you another one that was important to me as far as a podcast that didn't get as much love that it should have. Episode 22, Greetings from Tromaville with Gringo Fantastico. You know what? Gringo was the first person to be like, nah, man, I'm doing video. And if it wasn't for him doing video, I don't know if I would have asked the rest of my guests to do video. And from then on, we have had guests on video. I have had a couple. They're like, yeah, man, let's do it. And then they had their video on when I'm talking to them. And then I hit record and they turn their video off. I'm like, what are you hiding from? That's weird. Who am I to say? Because I'm never on there, just a couple episodes. But whatever. Remy's was really good. I remember we both had slept in that day. I think we had it set up for like 10 in the morning or something. Both rolled out of bed, did it right there on the spot. Remy LeVay has always been super cool to me, super welcoming. Love that dude to death. Love him to death. But before we get too far out of horror, here's another gripe of mine. I do have the occasional guest that's not from the wrestling world. Just because I like my horror movies. I had one of my favorite directors on for episode 150, a super important episode to me. Had a great conversation with one of my favorite horror movie directors. None of y'all watched it. Like y'all wrestling fans or something. Like y'all subscribe to the channel for wrestling or something. I'll do it again too. I'll have horror movie directors. I'll have basketball players. I'll have country music singers. I'll have what I want. Watch it, please. But yeah, that was a disappointment, honestly. But it wasn't Bookwalter's fault. Gave me a great interview. Great stuff, just nobody watched it. What can you do? Hendrix was on the podcast. Man, that kid has made some moves ever since. Couldn't be prouder of him. Gannon Green, Nurse Micah, Jeff Paul, The Violent Party, Ruthless Lala. I remember when she agreed to do the podcast. I was so stoked. Was not let down. Great episode. Thank you, Lala. Hope you're healing up. Wish her the best. Jeremy Colbert was one that me and Lawrence helped me with this one, and we were both really impressed with his story, just everything. God, that's a great one. And we had him back. It was just as good as the first one. So that has to be a contender. Duzan, great message in his. Definitely check out Duzan's first interview. I tell you, man, I got to give the dude his props, because if it was me, I would have put some people on blast hard, and he didn't. It wasn't about that to him. And we know what people put Duzan through, and by God, he's here, he's champ. We fucking love you, Duzan. Brotherly Love was on the show. Fun episode. Dude, we're going to be digging through this channel forever, but if you want an inside look into how my brain works, I guess this is how we got to do it. Huff Manley is back, thank God. We had him on. Very fun interview, but Lawrence was a co-host on that one as well. And that's what I'm talking about, man. A lot of things changed. First, I started out solo, then I had Lawrence as a co-host. Lawrence kind of fell off, so then I had Marcus Twist as a co-host. And holy shit, if you don't know what happened there, that was falling out, to say the least. Things, like I say, man, this is really about how much things change, how they stay the same. The people I was riding with a year ago are not the people I'm riding with now, and it's a good thing, man. I'm glad I'm riding with different people and getting to know different people. That's been half the fun of this whole wrestling experience, is observing the fans in the crowd and observing how this guy thinks when I'm riding with him, or what this guy thinks about wrestling when I'm riding with him, or what this guy's life's like outside of wrestling, and what this guy's priorities are outside of wrestling, and stuff like that, man. It's really good. Episode 35, we had Honey Badger. Never. You know what? Ain't even worth my fucking time. What else we got? Good match. JPW against Christian Noir, Honey Badger. Frat Daddy and Jake Ely was good. We had an episode where me and Lawrence just laid into Zeke Mercer. That was a fun one. We had the first Ronies, where I gave all the Ronies to Frat Daddy. That was a fun deal. See, I'm digging through here, man. At the same time, while I'm digging through, trying to answer some of these questions, let's not lose focus of what's going on right now. I promise you, very soon on this channel, a video will drop that will change wrestling in our area forever. Let me just say that much. There's something really big happening, and you're going to know very soon. So I would highly encourage you to turn on those notifications. Definitely check out every video anyway. But if you want to be one of the first to know, something big's coming down the pike. That's all I'm going to tell you on that. Tyler Jacks was a great guest. What else do we got here? Oh, here's a fun match. It was the Unappreciated against two goofs in Parma, Ohio, and they just beat the shit out of those goofs. That was fun. What do we got? The surprise supersode. So what that tells me is one of the interviews sucked, so I booked another interview to try to save the other one, and I put the better interview on before the shittier ones. That's probably a disappointing episode. There's a pro tip for you. If you ever watch WrestleRoni and it has more than one interview, I probably wasn't too happy with one of the interviews, so I tacked on another one. I'm trying to look out for y'all, man. I'm trying to give y'all quality over quantity. What else? Matt Silks, Sean Resnick, Brotherly Love was back. As far as favorite matches, when Duzan won that 4-way to become the junior heavyweight champion, another goosebump moment, man. Great stuff. Oh, okay. And you talk about things changing. The second time Jeff Paul was on the show, we were firing at Brian Logan, rightfully so. But it's funny. We've had Jeff on the show running down other people, and then Jeff works for him. None of my business. I'm glad he's making money. But that just goes back to my point about how things can change. Things can change for the better as well, I guess. I'm glad these two are working together, and Jeff's making some money. Man, great. What else? Okay, this is interesting. This podcast was about Goblin Phineas. He had just come back. Crazy, because if you know, the promo just dropped yesterday. It looks like he's coming back again as what was his I don't know, but I know Jace Carr Race Car is going to be having a word with you, because we can't have two race car guys in the same area. So I hope Tim books that right out the gate so we can decide who our race car guy is going to be. That's all I'm saying on that. I am glad to see Phineas back, because the dude can wrestle, always has a fun match. And things get weird when he's around, so it'll keep me on my toes. It'll be interesting. Yellow Man was a great guest. Jeff Paul against Kincaid in the beard match. Now, the match was great, but Jeff didn't get much of a beard trim, I'll tell you that. Paparazzi was a great guest. Man, as far as the best match I filmed, I'll tell you one that might be my personal favorite and has not got near the love that I think it should. I'm talking SGC TME for the Conquest Champions, Tag Team Championships, man. Mance Warner, Matthew Justice against the main event. And y'all ain't watching it. It's wild as hell. They fight everywhere. I'm putting a link in the description to make it easy to find. Why are you not watching this match? It's insane to me. It's such a good match. That might be my favorite match. Another fun guest. First time we had Tyler Rose on the... maybe it was the second time. But he wasn't too happy about not getting paid by a promoter. He put the promoter on blast. That was fun. I'm always... You got beef with somebody? Come on here. Let's stir the shit. Let's just stir it all up. Johnny Swinger and Yellow Man. Where's the views on that? That's a fun match. We've been to ICS to record. ICS isn't around anymore. We had Gary Dameron on the show talking about ASW. Oh, here's a good one, man. This has to be in the contention. DD Trash against the JPWO against the Rhinestone Cowboys. That was my first time recording a DD Trash match, and I was like, damn, these dudes are legit a well-oiled machine, man. Another contender from the same show, gotta be in contention. Ace Austin, Jason the Gift Kincaid. Main event of Shootmasters episode 3. That's an all-timer. Man, I remember just standing in that entranceway and the Bullet Club music hitting and getting goosebumps. Such good shit. Gannon Green and Tommy Irish, two big dudes throwing each other around. That's one of my favorites. That's one you need to check out. Billy Knox and Nick the Mothmans in a bloody last man standing match. That's got to be one of my favorites. The Phineas Duzan trilogy. That was fun. What else do we got? Benny Conley versus Tyler Jacks. And this is where footage starts coming over from Phil Picasso's gang. And man, what a bunch of wild stuff. Watch some APW on the channel if you just want to see some different ass wrestling, man. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck scrolling and trying to come up with the decisive answer and trying to please everyone as I always have. That shit's over. That's in the past. Because you know where it's gotten me? Nowhere. I promise you that. So from here on out, as far as the podcast goes, the gloves are off, man. I know there'll be consequences for what I say, and I'm ready for those consequences. Now, at a show, it's going to be a different story. I'm on the job. I will be professional. But on my channel, that I have made a success, all due credit to anybody that has come on the show, performed a match. Believe me, I could not have done it on my own. Okay, so don't misquote me on that. I definitely couldn't have done it on my own. But it is time for me to start looking out for me. I do need to start counting on myself a little bit more. If we're going to call WrestleRoni the realest wrestling channel on YouTube, we got to start keeping it real. So, yeah, enough tiptoeing around shit, watching what I say, trying to keep everybody happy. That shit's impossible, and I'm definitely done with that shit. If you're mad, come say something, come fight, whatever. I don't really give a fuck. As far as my favorite guest, Phil Picasso, because he didn't give a fuck, and I like that. I like that attitude. As far as favorite match, let me think on that. Favorite match, let's go with, man, get back to me on that, because there's been a lot of great matches. Let's look at some of the other questions. I'll give you some answers. Okay, Tyler Graham, what is your favorite part when you video matches in Studio 97? Good plug, a free plug for yourself there. Congratulations. All right, let's start this over again because it's worded very weirdly. What is your favorite part when you video matches in Studio 97 and photographing matches at the same time? My favorite part's when you stay the fuck out of my way. What's the best match I've recorded? We're going to try to figure that one out. Mac Mendoza, what are your thoughts on some of the upcoming or PWL guys like AJ Evans, Mac Mendoza, etc.? Because we know you're not a Lane Cali fan. Definitely not a Lane Cali fan. PWL, y'all are schooling it. We just gave you all your whole episode to talk about how great you were. And I got a message the next day from one of your sponsors wanting to know why I was talking shit before the match even came out. But I love y'all. I just know one of y'all snaky as fuck. But I love y'all. Most of you. Sean Skaggs writes in, do you want to get whizzed by Ricky Dawkins and Cliff Klepto? Fuck no. I would like to slap both of them in their fucking faces. Kwame, Big Black Carl writes in, what's your feelings on Black Ice and their run as a tag team? I'm very happy that Black Ice is the new PWL, two-time PWL tag team champions. You'll become my favorite tag team in West Virginia wrestling history whenever you chokeslam Lane Cali. Hashtag chokeslam Lane Cali. Alright, man, so that covers the questions. We still got to figure out my favorite match, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say, man. I'm really wanting to make the channel better. I'm trying to diversify the content. Would you like to see some gaming stuff? I know it's a wrestling channel, so probably not, but if you do, leave it in the comments, let me know, because I got some new games. I like my video games. You like video games? You want to talk about horror movies? Because I know a lot about horror movies. We can talk about those. The bottom line is, again, super busy this summer with RSW. It's been a very controversial few months for RSW. And, but you know what? I'm kind of in a different place than I was a few months ago. As far as I don't have certain people that's going to be around watching my back, if I do talk shit, I'm well aware of that, man. I never counted on them then. I'm not counting on them now. I'm here, and I'm going to do my thing. That's the bottom line. I think we're in a great place. We have a great bunch of talent. There's some things that need straightened up here and there. I think they will get straightened up. I think there's some exciting stuff coming down the pike that's going to be great for everybody. Everybody should be excited. There's a lot of great stuff to look forward to. SummerSlam's in Cleveland this summer. That'll be fun. Let's talk about this weekend, man. It's going to be one of those weekends. I love it when you get a WWE show on a Saturday afternoon and then you get AEW. 5 years of AEW. That is insane to me how much time has flown by. And it's kind of insane to me, honestly, how much I loved them at first. They could do no wrong. And now I'm just kind of watching an episode here and there. I was watching last night, and I really enjoyed last night's episode. I was sitting there watching, thinking, man, it's really cool that there's a TV product that I'm watching all these indie guys I was just watching 5 years ago on the indies, and they're on TV. I think it's really cool that there's more opportunities for wrestlers to make money, get their name out there. I'm still pulling for AEW, man. Still pulling for them. I still love you, AEW. I hope you get your shit together and give WWE a run for their money, but WWE's pretty hot right now. They're the hot ticket. No doubt about that. But we all win, man. Wrestling's hot. Wrestling is hot. That's why there has been controversy lately in the area, and I think a lot of that has to do with there's more eyes on you. When there's more eyes, people want a little bit more of that spotlight. Hell, I want a little bit more of that spotlight, so I might even act up here and there to get mine. We're all guilty of it, man. You know what? Be guilty of it. Get your fucking spotlight. Do what the fuck you gotta do. Shake things up. Fucking look out for you, man. This is independent wrestling. Yeah, we gotta work together, put on a show, make things work. And we do. Especially in RSW, man. Well-oiled machine. I can't say it enough, bro. When we show up at Tim's house to load up the ring, everybody knows what their job is, what to do. Boom, rings in the truck. Get the ring there, get it set up, get everything set up, then you can have your fun. Couldn't be prouder of the guys in RSW. Really couldn't, man. And every show, the fans are there. The fans know what's going on, so obviously they're following social media. They're following the stories and everything. You know who doesn't follow the stories? I'll let it go. Since I gave y'all a warning in this episode, I'll let it go. But believe me, I want to blast you so bad. But I won't. I won't this time because, like I say, now everybody's been warned. I just want everybody to do a better job. I want you to tell your stories better and do your research. I want you to know the product. If this is what you're going to do, man, do the things to the best of your abilities. I'm guilty of it too. I just talked earlier about how Yeager had to whip me into place and tell me, make a good thumbnail, watch your fucking mouth, stuff like that. So this is me telling y'all, straighten the fuck up. Get your shit together. Look out for you. Make wrestling cool for everybody. Make it cool for the fans. Make it cool for your colleagues. I'm not saying we're doing a bad job. I think everybody's doing a great job. But man, if we could kick this shit into overdrive, I'm telling you, man, I've been saying it forever. It's a perfect storm right now. The talent is there. I see it everywhere. I want to give props to Appalachian Championship Wrestling. Something I never thought I'd see in a million years. A couple days ago, they put out a post. I don't even think their own flyer was on the post, honestly. But I know RSW's was, PWL, ASW. Every promotion in the area, they were sharing flyers for those promotions. Good looks to you, APW. ACW. My apologies. That's good shit. That made me happy. There's a lot of stuff that does make me happy, but there's a lot of stuff, and like I say, it's on the local level that rubs me the wrong way. And like I say, from this day forward, I'm going to call y'all on your bullshit, man. And if you want to handle it, we can fucking handle it. But shit, I said I was here to document wrestling, West Virginia wrestling, get it out there to the masses. But I also said I wanted to make this place a better place. Now, granted, I'm the first to say my opinion of what may be better is going to be different than your opinion of what may be better and somebody else's. But, dude, I got this podcast. And again, man, since I got started, I saw so many people come in after me. And they saw I had a little bit of success, so they wanted their piece of the pie. I came in to try to give back to something that I took from and I loved for so long. I wanted to give back to it a little bit. A lot of y'all's looking out for yourself. I see you. I'm watching all you motherfuckers, man. I see you. And who am I to say, right? There were podcasters before me. There was guys going to wrestling shows and recording wrestling matches before me. And you know what? There's probably guys out there that have a better podcast, that put more work into their podcast. They might even do some research. There's guys out there that have better equipment than me, that sweat just as much as I do running around ringside, that's up on their feet the whole time during a show. I get that, but I know the fucking work I put in, and I see the shortcuts a lot of y'all motherfuckers are taking. I see you, and again, today we're safe. I'm kind of hem-hawing, I'm pussyfooting around the fence. But believe me, man, this ain't the same Lou you got on episode number 1. That whole, we need more positive energy, we need this and that. That was a naive motherfucker. That was one naive dude. And that's a different Spooky Lou. Y'all have jaded me the fuck up. But y'all's given me a lot, man. You've given me I've seen a lot, and I see the potential. So, we're going to start putting some pressure on some of this. We're going to start putting the pressure on some of y'all. We're going to make diamonds out of some of y'all. Watch. Because you know what? I wouldn't be so confident to say this shit if I didn't know there's people I know in my heart that I have friends. I have brothers that think the same way that I do. That think we can make a change. That think this needs changed here. This guy deserves an opportunity. This guy ain't shit. Why's he getting booked all the time? I know there's people that think the way I do, so I know I'm not crazy. I might be a little out there, and that's fine. I always have been. That's fine. But I know I'm not crazy, and I know the potential that's there. So you're going to see some changes. Maybe it won't be in the scene. Maybe it'll just be here on the channel, but that's a start. Like I say, going forward, you're not going to see match after match. You're going to get more of a television product. And believe me, it's not going to have television production. But it's going to have the work. It's going to have the blood, sweat, and tears. And it's going to be different. It's going to be something different than what you're used to, man. Like, if you're going to edit a wrestling match, do it right. Don't have the guy hitting the mat and the freaking sound coming through two seconds later. Don't. Believe me, man, just do better. Do better. A lot of y'all's doing great. Some of the production I see, top-notch, and I'm well aware that mine's not top-notch, and I don't have the budget to make it top-notch. And that's the way it is, man. But we're growing. We're growing every day. I just got my YouTube check yesterday. It went right back into the channel, so you'll see that. Believe me, man, I'm working for y'all. I'm wanting to provide a great product everybody around the world can enjoy, not just the local folks. I want to put eyes on the great folks that I know around here. At the same time, maybe I'll put some eyes on the pieces of shit around here as well. Hey, man, I ain't nobody. I ain't nobody to fear. I ain't nobody to love, nobody to respect. I'm Spooky Lou, man. But I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right, or I wouldn't be making the moves I'm making. And again, don't be distracted by false prophets. Don't be distracted by wannabes. I know what I've done. I know the work I put in, and I know the results I've produced. Sorry if there's a little bit of a chip on my shoulder on this episode, but man, there's been a lot I've been wanting to vent for a while, and believe me, this is just me kind of taking a breath. Going forward, believe me, if I set you up for a podcast, and I hit you up a half hour before the podcast to see if you're ready, and you say, oh, I meant to message you. You might want to message me when you know you ain't going to come through, or believe me, that podcast is still going to have your fucking name on it, and we're going to fucking bash you the whole show. I just want a little bit of respect back, man. Just a little bit. I get it. What have I done? You know, I think I've done a little bit. You might want to look into it. I'm looking out for y'all. If you're doing good, I'm going to put a spotlight on you. I'm going to showcase you to the best of my abilities, and I'll put you over. I'm just saying, Spooky Lou might be one you might want to have on your side. You might want to invite Spooky Lou back instead of problematic marks with money. Maybe. Or not. That's fine, because believe me, I'm busy enough the way it is. Yeah, it does. Obviously, it makes me feel some kind of way if I'm talking about it. But it's like 3 or 4 different promotions. I'm like, what the fuck did I do besides work hard for you? And that's cool, man. Like I say, I know where home is. I ain't going nowhere. Not until Tim fires me. And, and that'd be fair enough, you know? I don't know, man. I just enjoy wrestling. It's going to get interesting. It already is interesting. If you're not in the West Virginia area, go check out your local scene, man. There's crazy shit going on there. There's guys, believe me, there's some great talent everywhere. Now is the time to be a wrestling fan. Now's the time to be a WrestleRoni subscriber. I promise you, within the next 24 hours, something's going to come out that's going to blow your mind. And this is where it's all going to go down. Right here on the channel, the realest wrestling channel on YouTube. I said it. And I don't regret it, because go through some past podcasts, man. You might have to dig, but this ain't the first time we've thrown some shade. This ain't the first time we've let you know what's going on. There's stuff out there. It's all out there. It's not like this is new. It's just I give way less of a fuck now, because I know my worth. That's all I got, man. I feel better. You feel better? You feel worse? You still like me? I don't know. Let's make sure we don't have any fan questions I need to answer. I hope I got all. Did I answer my favorite match? Did I answer? We one last time. Favorite match I've ever filmed. All right. If you're going to put me on the spot, selfishly, Air Duzan against Tyler Rossfield, just because it was my own promotion, the crowd was into it, and dude, I cannot tell you the feeling when you look out into a crowd and you see smiles on faces and know that your promotion, not your work, because it's the guys in the ring doing the work, but your promotion brought that to them. No better feeling in the world, man. You know what? While we're on the subject and we're talking shit and peeling back the curtain a little bit here and there, a lot of folks have been asking about EIW. I'm thinking, let's fucking do it. You want to know about EIW, man? EIW wasn't just mine. It belongs to a lot of people when it comes down to it. And about a month and a half ago, somebody looked at me and they told me EIW was dead. And I'm not going to come on here and tell you EIW is dead, but I'm going to tell you somebody told me that. I'm not putting EIW 2023-2024. I'm not putting that graphic out. No, never say never. Never say never. But I've been told EIW is dead. And that's just all I'm going to say. But, like I say, how do I want to word it? I got my fingers in some cookie jars. How about that? Another booker for the Fed, Gannon Green. I know Gannon Green has his fingers in some cookie jars. So even though you might go to a show and it might not say EIW on the banner, there's some EIW spirit in there. How about that? And there will be more. There will be more. There's a lot of things coming down the pike that will be addressed, that will be announced, to where you're going to get a little happier, man. While we're on the subject, the EIW, a lot of folks, when's Billy Knox going to be back in RSW? That is not my call, man. I've talked to Billy. Billy understands why I'm still in RSW. He said he supports my decision. He's glad I'm living my dream. So that's where we are at on that. You can catch Billy Knox wrestling for Mega Pro Wrestling. You can catch him... You can catch him every other places. Just can't catch him in RSW at the moment. And if you know, you know, right? And if you don't know, You don't need to know. Why you need to know everything, huh? God damn, nosy pricks. Alright, man, I think we've said enough. So the favorite match was Doozy and Rossfield. Disappointing interviews. Yeah, I don't think we really went into that one too much. But I've had disappointing interviews, I promise you that. Let me think about one that really disappointed me. I had high hopes for, and I was like, man, that kind of sucked. Let me bring up some recent ones. Let's take a risk here. I'll bring up some recent ones, and I'll tell you my honest feelings on them. How about that? And then we'll call it a show after I hurt some feelings. Alrighty, let's look here. Okay, when we scrolling through earlier, I believe I left off Cowpoke Paul was fun. J Master was fun. Gary Dameron was fun. Party Mike was fun. There's a disappointing one, and not because up to Wilbur. Wilbur Whitlock was on the show. We had a lot of technical difficulties with that one, so that one was disappointing for sure. Need to get him back on the show, do it proper. Jace Kincaid is one of the best ones we've ever had. Let's see here. Pondo. That has to be one of my favorites, man. What a good dude. I hit him up. I'm like, Pondo, you want to do an interview? He's like, sure. I'm like, when you want to do it? He's like, give me a call. We'll do it right now. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Jason Knight was a great one. We'll have him back on the show again soon. Assault Championship Wrestling's back, baby. Run by Jason Knight. Check it out in the Connecticut area. We had the Cuban Assassin on right after he saved somebody, talked him out of jumping off a bridge. I think that's a super important episode that deserves more love. Trent O'Day from QWA was on talking about the crazy travel and everything he's been through in Australia. I would say this one was disappointing, but I didn't really have the highest of hopes for it anyway, so I'll just leave it alone. Here was a fun one. The wrestler with no name. No Name was on. Got drunker as the podcast went on. Check that one out. Total fucking Chaos was on. Hardcore's been all over the deathmatch boards and the news lately, so that's interesting. Joe Dombrowski was great. Rob Stardom was great. The pirate episode deserves more love. I had 2 pirates. Come on, man. What was there not to love on that one? Logan Taylor was great. Vance Desmond was great. Big Black Carl, Jeff Paul, Duzan, April Hunter. She was nice. James Frost was great. Medical update with Billy Knox. You know what? You want to talk about disappointing, and I love you, Billy. I don't think we've given anybody a proper Billy Knox episode. And that's half my fault. When me and Billy get together on a podcast, it's just me and him talking like we always do. We're super comfortable around each other. And it's not the most professional. It's a lot of dicking off. So maybe we'll get Billy Knox on in the future and try to do it right. So that might be the answer for now. Let's see. Who else we got, though? Zayden Kane. Bake's always good. Got to give it up to Bake, man. I haven't always agreed with his tactics, but I want to publicly thank Bake for always giving me my due when he felt that a due was earned and deserved. I got to give it up to Bake, man. Bake's giving me respect and giving me props when I deserve props, so I'll give him that. Adam Hex was fun. Rucker was fun. Brandon St. James was fun. T-Bone. Dakota Steyer was fun. Golden was back. That was fun. Natalia Markova was fun. You know what? We're shooting the shoot. I think I cost myself a sponsorship with that one, and I'll tell you why. The sponsor had set it up. It was Kill City Cup. Hey, you want to interview Natalia Markova? Of course I do. Big name. Great name. Yeah, let's do it. All right. So you would think when a sponsor sets something up for you, you might want to talk about their film. And I did for maybe 3 minutes. And then, bro, I'm sorry. I'm a wrestling podcast. I promoted your movie. I talked about it for a little bit. But there was questions I wanted to know about wrestling. And yeah, I never got a sponsorship from them since that one. So it is what it is. I tell you this much. about WrestleRoni. Those subscribers you see, not one of them's paid for. Every one of them's earned. Those views you see, no matter how low or how high, promise you, all of them's been earned. None of them paid for. No bot comments, as far as BOUGHT or BOT. There's no bot subscribers, no bot likes. I see y'all and what you're doing out there. It's cute. And I can go to bed at night and know I got mine. I earned mine. And I appreciate all those that helped me earn mine. Alright. Going back to disappointing ones, man. Disappointing. Ashton Gay was great. God. Ashton Day was great. Tyler Jackson was great. Bruce Gray, there's what screwed me up, was great. Cole Cash. As far as one I really had my hopes up for and disappointed me. Because I'll be honest with you, there's been ones that suck, but I knew they were going to suck. One I had high hopes for and disappointed me. I'm just looking through one more time. I wish I could give you a better answer. I'm going to have to stick with Billy Knox, and I'm taking half the blame on it. Because, like I say, we just talk our own stupid language, talk inside jokes, and that's what it is. And yeah, man, it's different without him around. You want me to be real? I'm being real. I see him. He stops by the crib. We have great, we talk. He's doing great. But, yeah, it's different without him in RSW. And you know what? I think it's a test for RSW. We all know Billy Knox was the star of RSW. But RSW's still shining. People still showing out. People still getting involved. So, props to RSW. It shows RSW can stand on their own without him, It is what it is. It is what it is, folks. It's a crazy time. There's crazy times around here. This is the warning. Like I say, man, this is the episode. Everybody's got fair notice. Might want to watch yourselves. Spooky Lou's watching you. You should be scared. I don't know, man. At the same time, for the love of God, treat each other with kindness and respect. Go out there and live your dreams, man. If you put the work in, you will be rewarded. If you put the good karma out, the good karma will come back. If you put the bad karma out, the bad karma will come back. I'm seeing both in action every day. I'm seeing it daily. So it's happening. It's a real thing, folks. But at the same time, don't take nobody's shit. Stand on your own 2 feet. Be a man. Be a lady. Be proud. Be proud of who the fuck you are. Make a difference. If it's not in wrestling, make a difference in the education system, or make a difference in your local, in your town, in your city, in your home, man. Even if it, just make a difference. Go out there and make a difference. Leave it in the comments. Let me know how you made a difference. Let me know what you'd like to see on future episodes of WrestleRoni. What kind of content you want to see, because I'm trying to diversify things. Because believe me, man, we're on the come up, and I want more. I want it all. And I want it now. I'm Spooky Lou. We're getting the fuck out of here. I love you.